Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to create a more modern Indian bridal look. Traditionally, it's a lot more heavier, eyes are more bling, there's a lot more cat eye going on, red lips, stark blush. So I just wanted to do something different. This is the kind of makeup look that I would wear. I thought I'd do this. So I'm starting out with just a bit of the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Orange, just as a corrector, just to mask my dark circles and the darkness on my eyelid. And then just to let that set for a while, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm using the Freedom Brow Pomade in the shade Ebony. Now this is a really long wearing product and it is great for the eyebrows. On me it actually does last, I don't need to set it, but if you find that it doesn't last as long, you could go over with a clear brow gel. My favorite one is by Uemura. That is like super glue for the eyebrows. Your eyebrows will not budge. The Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade as well is brilliant. I actually use that on my brides, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm actually just using the Freedom Brow Pomade, which is what I had to hand. Then for my primer for the eyelid, I'm using the Maybelline 24-Hour Color Tattoo in the shade Creme de Nude. This is a super long wearing product. It prevents your eyeshadows from creasing, it keeps them on that much longer, and actually it does last all day. And the reason I've gone for this shade is just to neutralize my eyelid completely, because I am going to go in with light colors. I need to make sure that I've got almost like a whitish base to work with, just so that the colors pop a bit more. And then for my crease colors, I'm using the Artist of Makeup eyeshadows in the shade Nutmeg and Espresso, and I'm starting out with Nutmeg, which is the lighter of the two browns. I'm using a Morphe, I can't remember the name of this, but it's a Morphe brush, it's a fluffy brush, and just applying that first diffusely into the crease, and I will be taking it quite high up. I do go in a few times to build the color up. I prefer to do that than to just go in with a strong color to start with. And then taking Glow, again from the Artist of Makeup Cosmetics, I just want to apply my brow bone highlight and get this step done. And this has a bit of shimmer in it, which I do like. And then here I'm just building up the crease further. Now this time I've gone in with Nutmeg and Espresso because I do want to deepen it up a bit. I'm not going for a cut crease or anything too heavy. It's more, it's a softer look because I want the glitter to be the main focus of the eye makeup. Then here I've taken vanilla pigment. I've just decanted some of it into a small sample jar. And I'm using a flat shader brush just to pack this onto the eyelid. Now I found that this actually looks different on different people. On me, possibly because of the corrector underneath and the soft ochre paint pot, it's more of a yellowish champagne gold. On some people it looks like a white gold. So for me, I actually do go in with another eyeshadow on top just to change up the color a bit. But before I do that, I'm going to line my eyelids, and I've gone for a really simple eyeliner. I'm not winging it out, I'm not having it thick. All I'm doing is just applying it close to the lashes just to define my eyes. For me, I actually prefer this sort of eyeliner than a heavy, than a thick line or a cat eye or a winged eye. For me, this is actually my favorite way to apply eyeliner. And I was using the Shimmer gel liner in black. And then I'm going in with the Glow eyeshadow again, which I used on my brow bone. And I'm just applying that over the vanilla pigment. This was the color that I was actually going for. Then using some Nye Glitter Glue, I'm first just placing that glue onto my eyelid. You do have to work really fast with this, so ideally you want to do it in steps, like apply the glue in a little area, then go in with the glitter. But what I did was just apply the glue all over my eye, and then go in with MAC Reflex Pearl glitter, using the same brush, and I'm just packing that onto the eyelid where I placed the glue. I don't do the other eye on camera, but in the other eye I actually did do it step by step. So first apply a bit of glue, then go back in with glitter and move on to another area. So apply glue and then glitter on top of that. It just sticks better and you get less fallout with with that technique. And then for my primer, which for some reason I didn't come up on camera, I use the MAC Prep and Prime. And then I'm just applying the orange corrector around the dark areas around my mouth and blending that in with my finger. And then I'm trying this new foundation, which is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. And I'm using the shade Sand Beige, which is number 6. For color reference, I'm actually a MAC NC42. Now, this foundation does oxidize. So when I first put it on, it did look a bit lighter. But after about half an hour, 45 minutes, it does oxidize. So it actually does match my skin really well. And it's got an amazing yellow undertone, which I find difficult to find in drugstore foundation. So I'm actually very impressed with the color. I will do a review on this foundation once I've tested it out a bit more. But this was only the second time I used it, so I'll let you know what I think of it. But to start with, the color is really good. I'm using a Real Techniques buffing brush to push that into my skin. I did want maximum coverage. I am going for a complete flawless base. So I'm just pushing that into the skin. And then going in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW30. I normally use 35, but I'd run out, so I'm going in with 30. And I'm using the Maybelline concealer. I can't remember what this one's called now, but I'm using it in the shade Nude. And just basically taking the Pro Longwear Concealer onto the sponge of the Maybelline and placing that onto my eye and highlighting the center part of my face like crazy. And then using a Morphe brush to blend this out. Now, on camera, this does look a bit light. Again, I don't have a diffuser for my ring light. I keep forgetting to get it. But it is because I'm sitting right in front of the ring light. There's no diffuser, so it's quite stark. But in person, it didn't look so white. I'm going in with the Body Shop Shade Adjusting Drops in Dark. And I'm going quite heavy with this. Again, because the concealer did look a little bit light on camera, I am trying to compensate for it with this darker foundation or this heavy contour. And I'm going to use this as well as a bronzer. And then just to blend that all in together, I'm using my foundation brush, which is the easiest way to blend the two colors together. So I'm just going in with that same buffing brush and just blending that out. One thing I will say about these drops, they're really, really easy to blend out. I used to use it to darken foundations, but I found that it changed the tone of my foundation. So where my skin is extremely yellow toned, if I add this to any foundation, it makes it less yellow and actually more pink, and it makes my skin look almost dull. So I don't use it anymore to darken foundations. But if you have a neutral skin tone or neutral to more pink in your skin, then the shade adjusting drops do work really well. I'm using the same foundation, the same shade adjusting drops to contour my nose with. And then using the same Uemura gel liner, I'm just going to complete the eyes now. I'm lining my lower lash line, and I'm taking it further down as well. I am lining my waterline at the same time, so I'm going quite low down. And I find that this does define the eyes really well. But again, I'm not winging it out or anything. Then here I'm just blending out the lower part of that black with Nutmeg eyeshadow by the Academy of the Artist of Makeup Cosmetics, and then using that same blending brush from the start just to blend that in, just to blend that through, not taking any extra product. And then I'm going with the black from the palette, which I think is called Black Smoke, and just setting all of that black gel liner. And then to set the foundation, I'm using the MAC Studio Fix powder in C5. And to set under the eye, I'm using the Real Techniques, is it the Mini Miracle Complexion Sponge? But the little sponge. And I do love this for setting under the eye. Especially for photography, this really does sort of blur out the under eye, and it makes the photos look good. I don't normally set my face with a foundation powder, but certainly for bridal work, I do use these powders. And to set the contour, I'm using the Sleek Face Form palette in dark, and I'm using the contour shade to do that. And on the same brush that I applied the actual shade adjusting drops. I love Sleek contour kits. I think I prefer it to the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette as well. I absolutely love these palettes. I'm then using the same contour kit just to contour my nose. And then using a fluffier brush and a bigger brush, I'm going back in with MAC Studio Fix just to set the foundation. Now this foundation is extremely matte on my skin, and by setting it, I'm mattifying my skin even further. Great for photography, but I actually don't like the look of it or the feel of it in person. It does feel a bit dry, but for photography, it's great. It didn't look so dry in person, and as it sinks in, it looks better. But when I first applied it, it did look a little bit dry. And then for my highlighter, I'm using the Illamasqua Beyond Powder in the shade OMG, and just using a setting brush by Roll Techniques to apply this onto the high points of my cheeks. And then off my face, sorry. And then for blush, I'm mixing 3 shades of blush by Sleek, all warm tone shades, and just applying that using the same brush that I used to apply my powder with, and just applying that onto my cheek. I love mixing blushes just to customize it for my skin and for the particular makeup look. I love doing that. And then for lips, I'm first lining my lips with the Kiko Automatic Lip Liner in the shade number 513, and lining my lips, slightly thickening up the line. And then for lipstick, I'm going in with the ColourPop Ultra Matte lipstick in the shade Beeper. And I love how this looks on me. It's almost nude. It's more like a mauvey nude shade on me, and I love it. Off camera, I applied my jewelry and my lashes, and I'm just using the Ardell Demi Wispies. For myself, on my wedding day, I applied individual lashes. I find that they're the most comfortable. They look the most natural, which is what I wanted, but with a bit more glam than my normal lashes, which are pretty much non-existent. But with that, that's the final look done. I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye.